the inverse of the unknown is familiar, and your familiar isn't that great. Does the unknown really seem that bad or that scary anymore? So you can't really see it, but I'm in a tree right now. This is tree trunk down here. And yeah, bothered me. Y'all, I'm struggling. I have a mental block when it comes to posting and filming, that I have to look like perfectly put together. But I left my freaking lip gloss in my car, and I don't like this angle, and I didn't do my hair. Like, I just washed it and did something to it. Like, I didn't really style it, and all types of things. And that kind of stops me from filming a lot, but I have to persevere. This is going to be hard to put into words, but I do want to talk about, like, dissolving the illusions of emotions and feelings, because feelings are so fickle and fleeting and ever-changing, as are our circumstances and our relationships to them. And I think I'm still working on it, but definitely I used to let my negative emotions dictate my state of being, my perspective, how I felt about life, how I went about life, my beliefs about myself and my future. And it's just not even real. And it's like we have these feelings and these negative thoughts that keep us small and stuck and confused and doubtful and scared, right? Because really it's like our internal world that's dictating everything. The protective primal part of our brain likes to make statements, like factual sounding statements, like, this isn't possible for you, something bad is going to happen, don't try this or this will happen again. Like, things like that, when the truth is not fixed. And we only know a fraction of anything. I wish I could explain this better. Whatever truth we see, we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. Like, we never really have the full picture. For example, like when we see the moon, and the moon is full, she is still only half lit. So we see the full moon, but the other side is completely dark. So is the moon full, or is the moon black? Yes, the answer is yes. So that's what I mean when I say that, like, the truth is not a fixed statement. Like, two opposite things, two opposite truths can be true at the same time. And so really what it is we get to choose what, like, truth we align ourselves with. Like, we get to choose which version of the truth, which layer of the truth, which perspective of the truth has the most impact over our reality, over our results, over our mindset. And that is extremely powerful. We have the power of choice. And this can be freeing, or this could trap you. Because it's like, what truth are you choosing right now? And so that's what I mean when I say dissolving the illusion of feelings, dissolving the illusion of the truth of fact. So this conversation came up for me because I've recently been in a little bit of a rut just the past few days. Like, I've been having a little bit of a flare up, just mental health wise. You know, old perspectives, beliefs, thought patterns, coping mechanisms coming up. Because I feel like I'm on the brink of a big change that's going to require sustained internal change. A different level of embodiment that I isn't my familiar yet. So my body just kind of went back to the default, like escapism. I was binge watching TV, avoiding my tasks, procrastination, like trying to self-sabotage these like opportunities I already built up. So yeah, that really threw me off, like just spending 2 whole days watching TV. I watched Ginny and Georgia, the whole new season. Pretty good. But I discovered some things about myself, is that show was really stressful. But it was comforting. Like, it was making me sad, but it was comforting because my body, like my brain, finds sadness familiar. I used to spend a lot of long periods just sad. And so it was comforting because it felt familiar. And I am trying to rewire myself to where movement and more experiences, not just locking myself in my room, feel familiar. Like, I don't need to do that anymore to cope with what's going on. Like, I don't need to cope anymore. I can be and enjoy. And that's something I'm realizing, is you can choose when to stop coping and when to start living. Because I feel like we're all trying to cope, because this reality can be quite harsh. You know, the work schedules that are often forced upon us, the way of living forced upon us, different things always forced upon us, pulling us from our true desires and true purpose. But so we also may have like internal truths and feelings and traumas we're running from. So we use escapism, like our phones, dating, food, whatever it is we got, to cope. But you can choose when to stop coping, when to stop being on autopilot, and when to start living. So anyways, I had this flare up. I watched TV for heck long, and I wasn't doing what I needed to do and avoiding my responsibilities, which were actually aligned responsibilities, like things I want to do. And I don't know. I'm coming out of it quicker than I ever have before. I'm recovering. I pulled myself outside today. I'm not in my room. I'm in nature, trying to gain some freaking clarity. I've been exploring the fluidity, the flexibility of the truth, because I've been thinking about my circumstances. And this is a powerful shift about like gratitude and the power it has on your manifestations. It's like, I've been thinking about my circumstances, and some of the things that I am not happy with are very challenging and very heavy. But there's so many truths to it, because it's like, I think about my living situation, and you know, I'm faced with a lot of challenges. Like, I'll just share like my breakdown of my circumstances, so it'll help you understand how you can do this for yourself and free yourself from the illusion of fixed truth of being trapped. Of being trapped in just one truth and one in a box. Even if your circumstances feel limiting, like there's more to it, and you just need to change your filter. You need to tune yourself to be able to see more. You might have tunnel vision right now, and just maybe broaden your perspective to be able to see more of it, because just because you can't witness it or experience right now doesn't mean that it's not there. So anyways, for my circumstances, they're pretty challenging. I have been post-grad for like a year, and I live with my mom and my sister, and I do have my own room, and I also stay with my dad sometimes. My parents are separated, but their house is a bit smaller, so I don't have my own space, but it is good for my mental health. In my mom's house, I have my own space, but it's not the best for my mental health, but that's where all my stuff is. And you know, there's just a lot of painful family dynamics going on between my mom and my sister. Like, it's kind of giving codependency, and it's just a lot. I wish I don't know how to break it down. But it's painful to witness. I will say that they struggle a lot with mental health, addictions, pessimism. We're not the same in that way. So yeah, there's a lot of, you know, stuff going on with codependency, addictions, just painful interactions. It's like, I don't know if anyone has seen the show Girlfriends, but there's this girl named Tony, and her mom is an alcoholic, and she has an older sister who takes care of her alcoholic mom, and the alcoholic mom mistreats the sister, the one sister who stayed to take care of her, and Tony has distanced herself from the whole situation. So I'm kind of the Tony in the situation, and my sister is the caretaker, and my mom is kind of the alcoholic. She's not an alcoholic, but she has her addictions. And so that is what I'm witnessing, that painful dynamic every day, and I feel estranged from it, but I'm also too close to it. Anyways, so that is the harsh truth of my reality. The house is also often messy, so it's just hard in general. Like, the way the messiness of the house reflects the trauma, the generational trauma that is being housed in it. That's one truth that of my situation. But what is also true is, you know, I have people, like, I do feel held. I'm close to my family, and they often cook for me. I don't have to handle making all my meals all by myself all the time. I have my cat, which I love, and I have my own room, my own space, a whole room. I have so many clothes. I have so many things, like so many beautiful fairy clothes that I'm so honored to have, and space to hold them, and so much art supplies, and just so much stuff. And my family is like, we're very different, but they support me in my vision. Even though they don't fully understand it, they do support me. Like, they've known I've been an artist my whole life, so they know that this is what I'm supposed to do. I've always been like this. But they support me in my vision. They're not pressuring me to do something traditional or anything. Even though we grew up in scarcity, they get it. And I have a house, I have a bed to sleep in, a phone to record on, like, you know, and that's more than a lot of people could say. So that's the other truth, is that I have so much and not enough in a lot of ways. And so it kind of like neutralizes the power of the situation and how much power your painful circumstances can have over you. So it's easy to focus on how much you want to change, how much you don't have. What are you grateful for? What do you have in front of you that you're not looking at? And what is something you already have that you cannot live without? Do you have hair? Do you have a phone to watch this video on? Do you have a bathtub? Do you get to shower every night? Do you have a kitchen? You know, I'm not saying this to minimize anyone's problems or to push toxic positivity. It doesn't have to be, you know, extremely positive or extremely negative. You can neutralize the power of the situation. It just is what it is. And yeah, so that kind of freed me, because there's always two ends of the spectrum. For as many things I wish I could change about my circumstances, there's as many things that I'm grateful for. And here's the crazy part, is when you step into your blessings, when your circumstances transform, there are going to be things that you miss, and those circumstances are going to come with a whole new set of problems, because that's just life. For example, I want to move out the country, and I want to live out the country and just do me and be like a little digital nomad. And that's going to come with a certain level of responsibility. My family is not going to be as close by. I'm going to be in charge of my own schedule in full. And that's scary, but it's also going to be beautiful. I'm going to be somewhere I feel aligned. I'm going to have a fresh start, you know? There's always a balance to everything. And so I've been able to find a new sense of appreciation for my circumstances, because I know that it's temporary. I know things are always changing, just like our feelings, our thoughts. Our minds are never still, neither are our circumstances, because the way we experience them is always changing. And they're always changing too. They're always in flux, no matter what. You never live the same day over again. So Everything is always in flux. Everything is always fluid. Had my little flare up because I was getting overwhelmed. I was getting tuned to all the negative of truths of my reality, and I wasn't able to experience everything that is outside of that, because you know, the negative of your circumstances is only the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to it. There's so much more to it, I promise. You just have to tune yourself to it. Neutralize the power of a fixed truth, because nothing is fixed. The truth is not fixed. Here's another example, like, let's say for bananas, like, some people love bananas, some people hate bananas. Is the flavor of the banana good or bad then? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, the truth changes from person to person, from taste bud to taste bud. You get to tune your taste buds to whatever flavor you want to experience. And now that we're on to the next subject, let's just talk about the common issues we have with our manifestations, with our life, with feeling unfulfilled. Because I want fulfillment to be my baseline. Like, I don't want to constantly be yearning, waiting for specific circumstances to start enjoying life. You don't have to wait on anything to start enjoying life, to start bringing fulfillment and joy into your moment right now. Because we only live in the now. We don't live in the future. We don't live in the past. So I want to talk about my take on why manifestations take time to come in, to come to you. This one's a hard one to explain, but your subconscious beliefs, not your conscious thoughts, but your subconscious belief, your deep core beliefs that have been programmed from the moment you enter this earth, the things that you have been seeing and learning and internalizing, that's what is influencing the physical. So you have to get in touch with that, and the subconscious is molded by repetition, and so repetition takes time. And also, like, your nervous system, your body is the gateway to a lot of this. So if you don't feel safe in the environment you are dreaming to be in because it's unfamiliar, you're going to have to work on a nervous system level. And that takes time, because our body, our physical, the tangible, the thing that ties us to this earthly realm, operates on the earthly laws of time. I sound so woo right now, but it is what it is. I say all this to say, we really only ever have a fraction of the picture of the truth, you know, of reality. When you look at a tree, you don't see all the intricate, you know, roots, the intricate root system beneath it, or all the rings. It tells the story of its life within the rings within the trunk. You can't see all of that. Like, everything we look at, everything we experience, we only understand and see a piece of it. Like, for example, if someone hurts you, okay, or you had a parent who was hurtful towards you, you don't have the entirety of every experience that they went through, everything that was said to them, everything that they saw, they witnessed, everything that was done to them, that manifested in who they are, into the way that they treat you, you know? So it's okay, yes, to be hurt, to feel pain, you know, to feel sadness, because we are human. But it is not okay to be sadness, to be pain, to be hurt, because that is not us. Like, whatever is being done to us, whatever we are experiencing, sitting in, is only a piece of the picture, and it's temporary. It could all be shifted. Everything is seasonal. Everything is cyclical. You will never live the same day over. So that's what's been bringing me peace. It's just like, I used to be so attached to identifying with my circumstances and the things that happened to me, and it's all an illusion. Like, there's so many layers to it. It's not just all bad or all good. It just is. And you get to choose which layer of the truth serves you in that moment. Zoom in or zoom out. And it's just so freeing. But I was zoomed in this weekend into all the little problems and hiccups, and I couldn't see the full picture for that moment, and that's perfectly human. That's a part of the journey too. But now I'm back. I'm so back. You are too. We're so back. We're deciding it in that moment now. I hope this little ramble made sense. Good God. Anyways, I share all this to say everything is changing. We live in the now only. And you can choose in the now to tune into whatever layer of the truth that you want, whatever layer you want to experience. You can call in any feeling you want to at any moment. Daydream, listen to music, create art, remove yourself from the environment, go outside. You have an endless, unlimited amount of tools and options and pathways in the now, in this moment right now. You do not have to wait on fulfillments. You do not have to wait on your manifestation. You just need to change your perspective. What aspects of your manifestation of your dream life are already in front of you right now? Zoom out, because I promise you, aspects of it are there. I promise you. Because the truth is, there are some things we cannot do anything immediate about. You know, some things we have to wait on to manifest in the physical. You know, not everything is in control, and that's the fun of life. What if you could control everything? What fun would that be if you could predict every single aspect of life, never be surprised, you know, never be pleasantly surprised, you know, never have a random opportunity you couldn't have imagined fall into your lap. You know, if you could predict every step, every aspect, every piece of your life. The unknown is part of the fun. Don't take the unknown, the spontaneity for granted, because it feeds us in our drive. So that just feeds into my point, like, here's the truth about the unknown, about the future, about the things we're experiencing, our circumstances. They may be unfair, they may be unideal, they may be scary, but somebody might look at our life and think how privileged we are, you know. So the unknown is scary, but it's promising, you know. It promises expansion, you know. It promises change, distance from things you don't like now. What is familiar to you right now? Is escapism familiar to you right now? Is pain familiar to you right now? Is anxiety familiar to you right now? Is yearning familiar to you right now? So if you think about that, if that's your familiar, if the inverse of the unknown is familiar, and your familiar isn't that great, does the unknown really seem that bad or that scary anymore? Literally, exactly, tune your perspective, your thoughts, your outlook is the most powerful thing. It neutralizes everything. It can go both ways. You can neutralize the positive too with your negative thinking. We do that often. And it doesn't make sense. So it just takes me back to my other point is, yes, some things we are not in control of. But think about it. If you don't have the money you want in your account, what is worrying about the money, hyperfixating about the money, stressing about the money going to do? Money problems are very real. You know, housing problems are very real. All that stuff is very real. But what is constantly living in that, stressing about that in your mind going to do? What is it going to do but draw in more? One. And two, like, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to make anything come faster, you know? It's not going to magically manifest. When has worrying about money brought you more money? When has worrying about the outcome of the future made the future come faster? When has worrying about the past changed the past? This is literally your tool. So a tip that I have for this, a perspective I have for this is, whatever you experience today, however you embody today, whatever perspective you take on today, habits you take on today, is what your future is going to look like. And that should get rid of all your worry, okay? If you took one step towards your goals today, if you detached from your outcome today, if you decided to stop procrastinating today, if you made one aligned decision today, good for you. That's what your future looks like. But if you're still stuck in pessimism, still doubting yourself and your future and your path, still reaching for that phone first thing in the morning, then a year from today, you're going to have the exact same New Year's resolution. And the only thing you have to do is to just do something. Just change the way, the first thing you could do is just change the way you see your current reality and your circumstances, to change the way you experience it, because you're going to start noticing more. For example, if you go on a walk and you're listening to music and you're on your phone, right? You're going on this walk, you're listening to music, you're in your head thinking about a whole bunch of stuff, about all the things going wrong, okay? Or just in your head, not really present. How much of that walk are you going to notice? How much of that walk or that path are you going to miss? So let's say you go on the same walk every day. This time you don't listen to music, you're present, okay? And you notice all these beautiful things on the walk, all these houses, these flowers, these stickers on the lamp posts or whatever on the mailbox, I don't know, okay? And all those things were there before. You're going on the exact same walk and you notice something different every day. So you walk the same path every day, but it's never the same walk based on how you show up. And what if you go on this walk and then you end up seeing a sticker or design that sparks an idea in your mind, and you take that idea home and you create a print, and that print ends up selling out in your Etsy shop? You see how intricate things are? Like, don't miss the opportunity of the now. And don't be trapped in the illusion of a fixed truth. Anyways, that's my little ramble. And I think I'm done for today because I'm going on 40 minutes. But yeah, I thought I'd just come up here and talk. And just be real. But yeah, I was feeling triggered because I'm moving into a new state of being that is asking, it's not familiar to me, my body, and what my brain and nervous system is used to. So my nervous system just started panicking because I got an opportunity, like an entrepreneurial opportunity that aligns with like the coaching I'm trying to do, and my self-concept, my like deep subconscious core beliefs are confused. And it doesn't feel safe to step into this level of visibility, of responsibility, of like other people trusting in me and like valuing my work and pricing my work. My subconscious is like, girl, what? This goes against everything we believe about ourselves. And I'm like, you are safe. Please let me handle this. I understand the past was painful, but please let me create the future you deserve. Just lay back. So I panicked a little bit, but now I'm back. And I would have fallen into a loop for a week plus or months of just watching TV, escapism, avoiding my responsibilities, but I caught myself in 2 days. And we're still back. Yeah, that's my little ramble. That's your little message from a fairy in the forest. All right, that's it from your favorite fairy god friend, fairy god guide, fairy god family, whatever you want to call me.